Welcome back, folks. With me, Phil 2 We're watching the final part of the Ristar Let's Play. So this is Planet Automaton, and this is the second to last world, technically. This is the last planet we're going to see on the Baddie map. So the last place will actually be Greedy's fortress world thingy thing. But Planet Automaton is the hardest of the 6 primary worlds because you have all the skills that you've been trying to perfect up until now. Trying to headbutt, grab. There's ice physics. There's swimming physics in here as well. There's the bouncing thing that would be in Planet Inonis. There's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of craziness here, and there's a lot of spikes and everything. But even though it's very tricky, it's a very difficult level, it is a very fun level. I say about a lot. I think I say that for all the levels, but there's something about the music, the way it looks, and then some of the mechanics. So like this floor here is like ice, but I wouldn't say it's unfair because you have ways of breaking your momentum and kind of like giving yourself a small little breather to get your bearings and everything. But you just really want to just be very careful. Now the enemies in here are some of the hardest in the game because you got these bots that shoot lasers like in 3 angles and everything. Now here's where we get the swimming mechanics. Now in the original, there's a special shooting star pole, but in the original one and the Japanese version is again, there was, from what I remember from watching some videos, and I actually died, there was no explanation why Ristar can actually swim in this area. So they kind of gave him the anti-gravity boots, shoes. They kind of sort of explain that. But I mean, I like that because I mean, if I was just walking and all of a sudden I start swimming, that would literally make no sense whatsoever. So I like that explanation. There would be like anti-gravity shoes or something like that. But that's when you get to a high enough point, or certain rooms, I guess really is what I should say, the shoes will stop working, and that's actually one of the things that kind of make getting the special shooting star pole really tricky. So here you have to jump, and I'm not able to swim anymore, so you have to actually climb this wall right here. Grab onto this black orb enemy, which I screwed that up royally. So you have to climb all the way back up. Luckily it does respawn, so there's that. So you grab it and you gotta swing back to the other side, be very careful. And then grab onto that ledge on the other side, and then you'll be able to get the shooting star pole right here. Now, this one isn't the difficult one. The last shooting star pole is the hardest of the 12. This one's really easy because really you're just jumping on these platforms that just make you bounce really high. And you just gotta time certain headbutts really right so you can swing from one end to the other, but not very hard. This one's not difficult at all. So just jump, and right here you gotta grab that little pole. Any of these poles, it doesn't really matter which one. Drop, you interrupt your momentum by grabbing the wall, just swing over. Here you can again grab the wall, kind of slow your momentum, and grab your treasure. The treasure will bounce up and down, so make sure you grab it. I don't even know what that is. It looks like a screwdriver or something. But now we can go ahead and finish the level. And oh my goodness. But yeah, those spike grinders, whatever, they do hurt, obviously. So don't grab them, don't even headbutt them, don't touch them, don't do anything with them. And the enemies just have a lot of attacks that aren't like the green orb enemies that are really like the black orb. They're just like kind of different color. I don't know what I did there. I probably just went stupid, but yeah, Planet Automaton is the hardest level because of all the environmental hazards and all that. But it's not unfair. It's difficult, but it's not unfair, if that makes sense. So just grab on these things to let them, coast you to the safe areas. And you just gotta be very, very precise with your headbutts and your grabs. Right here, grab this shooting star pole. You'll smash to the wall here on the right, if my memory serves. And then we'll be into our mini boss right here, which you gotta take out all of the mini bosses, like green orb dudes. And once you turn them all into black orbs, you can actually start attacking the. Actually, no, I think you can attack them before that. So grab them. Yeah, you can actually attack them before you make them. You can attack him before you make all of his orb dudes, black. So, But if you make them black, those orbs cannot hurt you, so just bear that in mind. So it's all about just hitting that main one. And every single color he changes, it gets more difficult. Right here, just be very careful. Don't get hit by that wheel. It's very difficult. But you do have invincibility frames to take advantage of. This one's not too difficult either. The red one, I think he shoots him, I think he shoots him. So he'll go into the side. No, he won't. Actually, yeah, he will. Yeah, he'll go in the middle and start shooting them. But he's only going to shoot him down in the middle. I don't think he actively shoots like on the sides. It's right there. So be careful and then grab him. And once he turns green, he's done. You hit him again, and then he's done like dinner. And now we can. It also look like this. Like, oh, the Iron Fist of Greedy. So with that, we finish that. Hey, we got extra life. And so now we'll go to the Brain Maze. I always thought that like those two galaxies on the right actually were extra levels. I could not figure out how to go there. But no, this is actually the last world. And I've always thought, like after playing Super Metroid, those diagrams on the left, they actually remind me of Chozo's. But that just might be a coinkydink. I don't think that was intentional, like towards Metroid. But you gotta hit this thing 3 times, and once you take them out, you can actually break this wall to get the crystal right here. So you always want to throw these crystals into those generators or those sockets, that way they can transport you into the next room. And that's really the main gist of this. You're going from room to room. These platforms, you can grab them, headbutt them, and then you can make them go up and down, left to right. So just move this platform all the way to right, get on the teleporter, and then go to the next room. And that's really all this is. Now that little beam transports you into the background, and then when you're in the background, it will transport you back into the foreground. So pretty interesting. It's a nice gimmick. And I feel like they could really only do this gimmick with the techno world, so to speak. Because I could not imagine them doing this with, oh no! I couldn't imagine them doing this with, like, say, Planet, the very first planet, I forget what it's called. I couldn't imagine them doing this in Freon or Sonata. So this was a nice gimmick for this second half of the level. So grab that, go ahead and recharge my stars. And then go ahead and beat this dude up. Now this guy actually took me a while. You just gotta keep on headbutting him, and when he's on his 1 foot, you go ahead and hit him. But you want to keep on hitting him until he goes into that wall on the right, and that's actually how you quote unquote defeat him. And you just don't want him to get all the way to the right, because that just makes it difficult. But you want to hit his legs. Don't hit his body when he's on his 1 foot. Right there. His feet. That took too long. I'll go ahead and get some extra hits in. And this shouldn't have taken me this long, but unfortunately it did. So, boop. Actually, no, I guess you can hit the head as long as you hit him in time. So just don't dilly-dally. Just keep smacking him. Almost there. So, boop, boop. 3, 4, and then do it again. Boop. And he's broken. He's destroyed. So we gotta get this crystal. Gotta chunk it in the right spot. And I think this is the one with like 4 or 5 different, they have these things. So just make one of them go straight left and right. You make 2 of them really, and just make sure you don't get crushed. But remember, you can always headbutt it up, which is what I did right here. And then jump on this, jump on this platform. We go on the next one. So it's kind of like a puzzly kind of level. But here you want to rip these walls, which was hard for me to understand. Like at the time I was younger. But you don't have to fight the enemies. I could have actually started ripping off some of these other areas, but I'm about to die right here, I think, because I'm being stupid. But yeah, you don't have to fight the enemies. You can keep on ripping all the walls until you find the crystal. And in my case, it was the first one. So grab this, chunk it. And I don't know if that's random or not. I think it is random because I don't remember it ever being that simple. It's always the first one, but maybe I don't remember. This is the first time I played this game, like, I don't know how many years. That's not entirely true. I played it out for practice. But here, you want to use the shooting star rods, the poles, to go to the very top right. And this will allow us to get to the upper path, which is where we want to go. Because that's actually where we go to get the special shooting star pole. So it just takes a little bit. And you usually gotta remember to shoot at the right angle and at the right position. So right here, up there, and we made it. So awesome. Actually, no, I think this just gives us an extra life. Never mind. But But I would just go ahead and go for it anyways. You can use all the extra lives, especially if you haven't ever played this game and you're trying to beat Greedy. And those missiles, actually, what I could have done, I could have faced Ristar the other direction and thrown it, and then the missile would have gone towards the missile launcher, which is a very cool detail. I forgot about it until just right now. So you can grab the missiles and then you can just launch them like in the opposite direction, and then it will hit the turret. It's very cool. I like that detail. It's just a shame I didn't show it. Damn it, Pastel. Anyways, break this wall, and then to avoid hurting yourself really badly, you grab on the shooting star pole and just swing, swing, swing until the mooks will stop dropping from the sky, and then you can just grab the crystal and then go to the next area. And I think we're almost done. I always want to try to get special treasures everywhere. Okay, I was like, why is the thing not moving? Or not even transporting me? So grab this, we'll recharge our stars a little bit, and I think we're getting really, really close to the, no, not yet. I was saying we're getting really close to the special shooting star pole. So just keep going up, launch, and then go up here to the left, and then you basically just get through that really easily. There's none on the right side. I mean, that's like a longer way. But grab this pole and go to the upper left part. If it isn't obvious, that's where you gotta go. And we made it, so awesome. This will put us in the shooting star pole. Now this one was so difficult to complete. This is the first time I made it to the treasure chest without messing up, and I'm so glad there's a rewind feature here. I am so glad. So the trick is you have to jump, smash, and then side smash, and when you get to the angle, and then it gives you just a little bit height and the right angle to, aim Ristar to grab onto the ledge, because you can't make it by just angling it. You have to like angle it and then have him hit sideways, like perfectly sideways, which is very difficult to do, or you don't really realize that you have to do that. It's very tricky. And right here, I was very surprised I got this far without screwing up. And I've never beaten this up until now, so you see it in history in the making, but I had to rewind it to actually get it. So, again, you just want to aim Ristar's hands at an angle, and when he's at the tip, so to speak, the tip of where he can grab, you're going to aim directly sideways, and this will give him a little bit of a better angle to grab with. But here, you can actually just, if you time it right, you can actually do it without the sideways, but we're going to go ahead and rewind, and we're going to pick up right here. So this is actually, for me, this is history in making, because I never have gotten this treasure before. I always come up short. Oh, every single freaking time. I'm amazed I got that one time, even though I used a little bit of the rewind feature. But hey, I can at least say I got that last treasure before I die. Anyways, amazing. I'm very glad. Anyways, I digress. So just go this way, and then we'll be at the end of the level, and then we can continue on to fight Inonis and Uranim. I think it's Uranim and Iconus. Iconus, I don't know. But Uranim is the boss fight here. He's super easy. The hardest part, in my opinion, is the very beginning. So you're in front of these TV monitors where you see Uranim. He will chunk a bolt at you, jump as the bolt shows on the screen, and he will not hit you. But his throwing items is by far the hardest thing, because as long as you hit him, you have invincibility frames, you can just keep spamming the hell out of the grab, and it just becomes a super easy boss fight. So just keep on grabbing him, and he won't hit you very much, if at all. So there you go, he goes down, the claw will drop down, smack the claw, it'll hit Uranim in the freaking ass, or the back of the head, wherever, and then he will go down, and that's how you do damage to him. Some of his attacks, I think, are like based on like a fighting game, maybe Street Fighter. I'm sure. Again, I'm not a Street Fighter player. That's Mortal Kombat's more my thing. But once he's this color, you can smack him, and he will go down. He will explode, and then they will make their grand escape, because the bad guys do escape this time. And very interesting. This sequence is very interesting, because you're used to beating the bad guys and they like explode, turn into a black orb, but not this time. And a matter of fact, speaking of this boss, I used to think that Iconis, like upgrade Uranim to the next boss we're about to fight, Eyebar-555, because I don't know why, I just always thought he did, but in reality it's not. The little bit that's on the Ristar Wikia, Ristar Wikia, Ristar Wikia, whatever, they're two different entities, so that was kind of an interesting reveal for me. Very, very nice reveal right there for me. Enlightenment. But so with that, we'll go to Castle Greedy, which is actually located in the center of a black hole. And I like to think of it as this castle is built like in the middle of the black hole, like on top, where it's kind of safe. It's kind of like the eye of a hurricane, where it's like calm and everything, but like the same thing, but for a black hole. But all you gotta do is get to the top. Don't worry about the enemies. Don't try not to get hit, because we're not gonna spend very much time in this vertical section. Now the boss is, I would say, Eyebar is probably the second hardest boss fight, which is funny because I think Greedy, I beat him in one attempt. Because once you know Greedy really well, like how his pattern is and how to avoid his most dangerous attack, he's not very difficult at all, in my opinion. But he's very dangerous because he has an instant kill attack. So go through the door on right, and we'll fight Eyebar-555. And Iconis is the one who's piloting him. So you gotta smack him enough times to get the eyeball in the center to glitch or spark. And then once he does that, he'll get in the front and you smack him to damage the machine. He has these lasers, he has the machine gun, and you want to smack him in a way where your invincibility frames really cover for you. Because some of the attacks I don't know really how to dodge, like his giant laser gun that's on his left arm, or the one in the back. I don't know how to avoid that outside of invincibility frames. And right there, I was just being hyper aggressive. I should have taken my time just a little bit better. You can smack the boomerang away if it helps, but I'd like to just stay hyper aggressive on the main body. That way I don't have to worry about it. But absolutely, you can smack the boomerang away. So I think all you gotta do is you gotta hit him 5 times. You go from green to yellow to red to rainbow. So just make sure that you again, I don't know what he says, but it's very interesting. His belly button changes to the color of the robot, which makes me think he might have like some kind of symbiotic relationship with him, which is kind of cool, I guess. So one more smack with Ristar's headbutt, and he will go down. And that was a pretty easy sequence. That's pretty cool. I like that sound he makes. But with that, we beat Iconis, we beat Greedy's right-hand man. Now we will go take it up with the man of the castle, the master of the castle. And this track is so freaking awesome. It's very ominous. But here's the man of the hour, the evil baddie, Kaiser Greedy, with Sonic the Hedgehog sound effects. So just smack the things, and once you finish this phase, you can actually start trying to hit Greedy. So you have to hit these things to get him out, and I'm taking way too much damage. So now he's going to drop these enemies. You always want to try to keep some of them alive, and you can actually hit those orbs. I think you can get HP back from those. But you want to keep one of them alive, because when he does this attack coming up, the black hole, if you can attempt to outrun it, but I've never been good enough. It's whenever he opens up his cloak and shows his body, that right there. He's gonna make a black hole, grab his minion, and just hold him, and you won't move in place. But he will drop some enemies to try and knock you. But just be super careful. He did kill me. Because if he sucks you in that black hole, you will die, and it will drag you in there. You'll eventually lose out to the pool. That's why I say those enemies are some of the important things. I think you can also smack Greedy and interrupt that attack, but that's a very big risky move, because if you miss your jump and your smack, your headbutt, you'll get sucked into the black hole. So I kind of would only do that as a last resort. I would rather just play super defensively with that black hole and just use the enemies as sort of an anchor. But yeah, that's it. That's you have 3 phases. You have the phase with the turrets. This phase. So just jump, grab onto the enemy, and let that black hole pull away if you want, and then just grab on the enemies, which is kind of funny considering like the way Ristar's positioned. But after that black hole, you can go ahead and start smacking him. Jump when he disappears. Jump straight. Just jump and then grab upwards. Otherwise, he'll hit you with that thunderbolt. All you gotta do is smack him 5 times. That's 3, 4. One more should do it. It should be 5 right here. Nope, 5 right here. Yep. And that's it. That third phase is by far one of the hardest ones. Hey, I got an extra life. But we defeat Kaiser Greedy, and he actually gets away. And I don't know what they're saying, but maybe it's like some kind of greedy language for escape. By Inonis, Uranim, and Greedy escape, and we have to make our way out before the castle collapses into the black hole, and we will be greeted to one of the most awesome credit sequences in a video game ever. So Castle Greedy will get devoured by the black hole with Sonic the Hedgehog sound effects. And we will be greeted to the credits. 2 sets of credits. Oh man, this track is so good. But we get a little bit of a comic strip of sorts, not a comic strip, but a little show and tell between Ristar and the Planet Guardians or the bosses. So very nice. I like this music. It's very. I'm head bobbing right now. But yeah, super awesome game. Super awesome game. Very quick, very simple, but such an awesome game. I want to say this is probably my last Genesis game I ever bought or had my parents buy me. So super awesome. Music's fantastic. Ristar is. I'm just so sad they never made a freaking sequel to this. I'm hoping like someday some amazing fan will make a fan game of this and we'll be able to play it again, or maybe some kind of remaster. That's what I'm saying. I forgot the name of that boss already, but you can tell he's getting scolded by his parents, and Ristar's like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry, buddy, but hey, tough luck." Oh man, the track's so good. Like the Ristar thing, like just rearranged in so many ways. Such a good track. And it brings back so many memories. So many memories with this game. It had such a fun time. And what I like about this game, like in retrospect, now that I've played it again, now that I'm much older, the game kind of forces you to be very slow in comparison to, like, you can tell this was made by Sonic Team, but they make you play super slow and make you enjoy the game because you're not running all over the place like Sonic the Hedgehog. And I think it's because that you can enjoy a lot of the finer details in the game. And I'm so appreciative of that. Like, and the colors in this game, oh my god, the colors, it's just an awesome game to look at. Even to this day, I think this is one of the best looking, like, sprite-based games on the Genesis and Super Nintendo, which I know this isn't a Super Nintendo game, but on the 2, this is literally one of my favorite platformer games. And little youthful ignorance here when I was younger, I didn't know what I was actually looking at when I was super young, because I think I played this game when I was like 6 or 7 maybe. I didn't know that was like the Voldy star system. As a matter of fact, for that matter, I didn't even know what a solar system was. But it's such an awesome vision what they were able to do with this game. And this track also is one of my favorites. I think this is non-stage level related, like main act levels, is probably my favorite track in the entire game. It just sounds so awesome. But yeah, Ristar, awesome platformer. I'm glad I was able to play this game. For this matter, I'm glad I was able to buy the Sega Genesis collection on Steam while they still had it, because this game is such. If you haven't played this game, folks, play it at least once. This is probably like one of the best looking Sega games ever, because this game was made probably towards the end of the life cycle, and it's just such a fun game. But yeah, presented by Sega Enterprises Ltd. And after this, the credit scene is not very long. And thank you for playing at the end by PJ Ristar, and gives a score, and it'll tally up our treasures. And I think what I'll do, I have Feature Phil add the post-credit scene in the Japanese version, because remember the game wasn't, the Japanese version had nothing to do with his dad. It had everything to do with Ristar's mother, Orodo. or the deity of this Baddie system. But now we'll get a series of passwords that you'll unlock from getting all the treasures. So I got all 12, so we'll get all the passwords. But I mean, in today's world, you got the internet, you have Google, you can look these passwords up all over the place. But here, we earned it. We earned our good job here at Fill 2 Reels Ristar Let's Play. So with that, folks, I'll go ahead and call that a game well played, and I will catch you on the next one, folks. Later and bye. Come on. All right, later, folks. Bye.